No, we gotta figure out a way.
Yeah.
That's just because that's how my brain works.
So did you have like anyone supporting you when you was first starting your business? Like what? Like.
You know what? It's like some people did,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of people who I thought would support me, like very important people in my life, thought I was crazy. They were like, "So you really leaving like nursing and the money that you're making and the lifestyle that you have for this?" Like they didn't understand it, and I didn't even understand it a lot of the time, but I was like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I want to do. And for the day one supporters who always support me and still do, like, I definitely love them to death. And for the people who didn't support me initially, they came around too, because they saw, like, okay, like,
Sometimes you gotta make them see it. You gotta make them believe it.
Yes, and now they are like some of my number one, like, supporters, my number one spokespeople. They'll be telling everybody about me, and I'm like, wow, okay.
They was just trying to protect you. What they thought,
yes,
they was protecting you. You know.
And I had to learn that too, because I actually, for a long time in my business when I first started, I resented them, and it caused a rift in our relationship because I felt like they didn't want me to succeed. And then, it took me some time to understand that was just their way of protecting me. My mom actually was one of my, doubters in the beginning, and she could not, like, she thought I was like going through a midlife crisis. She thought I was having like a mental break. She was like calling her pastor and stuff to talk to me, and I was like, Ma, I'm good. Like, I just want to
shift.
Yeah,
like, I want to pivot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she could not wrap her head around it, and she just wouldn't take it seriously. And it really hurt me. And then it took a lot to really understand that she was just coming from a place of love. And once I understood that, I kind of, things improved in our relationship. And now, like I said, she's one of my biggest supporters. She tell everybody, oh, my daughter does Botox, my daughter do this.
What's good, y'all? Are y'all having a hard time starting conversations in large rooms? Do you need to find more effective ways to draw attention to yourself without wearing a fancy outfit? I figured out a hack. You need some Financial Revolution merch. Everything is a staple piece that represents Black wealth. You are what you wear, so make sure you join the rest of the billionaires and get some FR merch. We have hoodies, sweatsuits, t-shirts, and much more. Make sure you visit www.financialrevolution.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Again, go to www.financialrevolution.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Let's get it, y'all.
You should go to her shop. She'll do this for you, and she does facials and blah blah blah. And I'm like, wow, but that's something that I had to like overcome, and it was very hard in the beginning.
Wow. So all right, so on this show we speaking to a lot of young people. What's the name? Young and dumb, right?
Right.
So I know a lot of young people right now who want to start something, have ideas. They may want to go to college. They may want to do just anything that their family didn't do. And nobody around them believes in them, or they may have their mom or their dad who's just doubting them. What would you tell them? Like, what would you tell your younger self or yourself, like, when you were going through it?
Right.
Because now that you out of it, it's like you can reflect.
Right.
But what did you feel like you needed to hear in that moment?
I think I would tell them, you have to believe in it first. And you almost have to have like a tunnel vision. There are going to be people who are not going to support you, and you can't worry about those people. You just have to stay focused, and if this is what you're meant to do, you're going to do it with or without their support. Of course, their support is going to be helpful, but you can't dwell on that and use that as a deterrent to hold you back. Like, if you're going to do it, and then show them and make them a believer. Like, if they see your consistency, and because sometimes people say things all the time, like, oh, I'm going to start. Even my son, he's been like, for the last year and a half, he want to be an entrepreneur, but he don't really want to do the work. And I keep explaining to him, like, son, it's not as easy as you think. Like, he want to start a t-shirt line. So I gave him like the information, like, okay, you can use these places to get the t-shirts, blah blah blah, but he don't have that drive in him, and so he keeps stopping and starting. And I told him, I'm like, listen, you have to believe in it first, and you don't even believe in it right now, so you can't make me believe in you when you don't even believe in it yourself. You gotta want this more than anything else.
Facts.
And if you do, people are going to feel it after a while. And they're going to recognize it, whether they want to admit it or not. They're going to see the work, they're going to see what you're doing, and then they're going to come around.
That's a fact. And I would say too, like, you know, on the outside looking in, when you want somebody to support you and you keep starting and stopping, it's just like, I can't start and stop my support.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I'm going to only support, but 9 times out of 10, people are only really going to support you when they see you really passionate about it.
Exactly.
When you posting every day, when you showing up every day, you always selling them your product. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like people forget that, like, people not going to just stop their lives like, for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be realistic. But that was good information. But now we about to get into the spa business, right?